So, my mic was muted throughout the first part of the stream. Sorry about that. But if you have a brain, go watch Jeremy's video on the quartering about Google and YouTube rolling out this insane tracking thing. They want to track everything you do, location data, um, the whole 9 yards. Cookies, tracking, location data, what apps you're using on your phone. Excuse me, that's my private device. I did not agree to that, nor did anyone else. That is a direct violation of online privacy. I don't care. Save your, oh, well, they can do what they want. For whoever gives a shit. This is why Samsung was in the wrong to have them as their only operating system, not their operating system, as their only app store and app service on the Android platforms. This was a terrible idea. I knew it was, and you know what? Back in friggin' middle school, back about early 2000s, I warned people about the Alphabet Company and everyone else that people like them were going to get too powerful, and it was going to result in a large loss of your freedoms, rights, and protections. And you know what? I got laughed at. Yeah. Well, looky. I found a cookie. Guess what? Y'all are losing it now. Every last bit of it. Any amount of privacy you thought you had. Oh boy, I sure hope you haven't been on a certain PH website at any point in the recent history, because guess what? About the time they get hacked, which happens regularly, your search history could become public information. This is dumb. Oh, what's that? You have a thing for weird foods? Well, now everyone in your neighborhood's going to know about it because, some sick hacker's going to get in there and get their random hands on it because they got your information inadvertently mixed in with a bunch of politicians that also use the same service. It's no wonder Russia's suing these fucking people. Are you kidding me? They're a massive violation of privacy everywhere. It's disgusting. It needs to stop. Anyway, there's the video's title. There's the channel name. Look it up and watch it, people. Because this is what's coming. Sorry about the dog. This is dumb. This is stupid. Every person who allowed this to happen up until now, including, anyone who did not speak out against this, is at fault. 100%. Well, guess what? It's time to start speaking, people. Get on Twitter, put at Samsung in your message and tell them we did not agree to this. Do it to Google too. Let them know. Because this needs to stop. It does need to stop. 100%. We are done letting you people gamble with our data behind our backs without us having any say in the matter. That is not what we agreed to. That's not even remotely what we agreed to. I'm going to leave it there. We're doing some Pal World content, but seriously considering Rumble because of this. At least they don't track everything you do. This is what happens when you allow monopolies. This is exactly what happens when you allow a digital monopoly. They think they can do whatever they want and get away with it.
And nobody tells them otherwise.
Exactly, and when you do, they shrug and say, not my problem. Use our product or don't use any product at all. Well, guess what? I think a lot of people are going to stop using their products in general. In fact, I'm probably going to be hacking just about every tablet and phone that I have to put a third-party operating system on it, Might even be a Windows operating system at this point because I'm kind of sick of it. Or I'll be looking into changing the platform of which Android uses. I might even just do the anti-Google stuff and forcibly remove it from the programming up. Which is another thing. You have to go through all those extra steps to do it, and it should be an option that you have when you buy your phone. To not have Google be a part of the situation, to just have the Android operating system and not be tethered to the Google Play Store. Or the Samsung store. Though I'm sorry if people don't like this, but Google and Samsung should not be the arbiters of what happens on your personal device.
Don't forget the Apple Store.
Oh yeah, the Apple Store on iPhones is a little different though.
I know.
iPhones, it's Apple. Apple controls both manufactures the device and the operating system, so that kind of makes sense. But like, this has just gone too far. It has. By the way, people don't know this, but Google has a hand to play in the iPhone too. They appear as competitors, but they're really not.
What?
Yeah. They just appear that way. A lot of the same people that are on the board of one company are also on the board of the other.
No, that ain't right.
Are you now streaming right now?
I am streaming right now.
Okay, I want to
Right now. It can wait. Whatever it is can wait.
the garbage.
It can wait.
Okay. There you go.
It's not Monday. Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I didn't realize it was Monday. Well, either way. Whatever it is can wait. When I'm doing a broadcast, people need to be quiet and respectful to the fact that I'm trying to do a thing. Unless they have a comment on the subject at hand, I do ask that you very politely wait until I'm done.
Then there's the fact that they don't give you the option to remove their app.
No, they don't. They don't.
There are certain
You
apps
can
but
disable them, quote unquote, but who says they're actually disabled?
they're
They
still
do.
running.
No. That's what I'm getting at. They're the ones that tell you they're disabled, but you have no way of knowing if they're actually disabled. They could be running in the background and just lying about the data that they're using. Are you kidding?
I mean, I've tried multiple times to have many more apps on my phone, but because of their
Bloatware.
BS,
Yeah, bloatware.
I can't. I
It's
only
all
have
bloatware,
one extra
too.
App, and it's all because of their bloatware.
Like, literally, it's all bloatware. I have to literally forcibly remove stuff like Facebook, YouTube, and whatnot just to get one licensed free game like Raid Shadow Legends to run on my phone. And it's not a phone space issue because, believe it or not, I used to be able to play that on my phone very regularly.
Same. I
And
used to have like 5 other apps on my phone that weren't pre-downloaded to the phone itself, and now I only have one.
Mhm.
And no matter what I delete,
Yeah.
it still only says it only says I have 97%
Yeah.
used storage, and I know that for a fact.
As
I
if
could
that,
have more.
yeah, as if situations like that weren't bad enough. Now they're just grabbing onto your tracking cookies and, using them to track everything that you do. And then they're just not even asking you if it's okay that they do it. Where did I agree to that? I don't remember hitting the agree button to that policy. I don't remember accepting that kind of a breach of my privacy anywhere. I use Mozilla Firefox on my computer and my phone. But now you're telling me that you can track me even when I'm using those? Fucking excuse me? I told you no. I told you no when I downloaded Firefox and flipped the bird to Bing and your fucking Google Chrome bullshit. I told you no. And yet you're still going to sit here and tell me that I have to do it? Fuck you, I do. I'll just go buy a Windows phone.
I don't like being tracked.
I don't either. I'll go buy a Windows phone and go talk to fucking Straight Talk. And I'll just have my service carried over to a Windows phone at this point. No thank you. I'll pay the extra money.
At least then you probably won't have a bunch of bloatware.
Oh no, you'll still have bloatware, but you'll have more control over what it does. I wish Linux had a Linux phone. That'd be great.
You mean Lenovo?
No, Linux.
Linux.
Linux is an operating system.
It's also the name of a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Minecraft YouTuber.
Well,
like that.
Linux is actually, I guarantee you, the Linux operating system predates your YouTuber.
Probably. I was just making the comment because he's a YouTuber. He usually streams in a stream with Donnie Bobes, if you know who he is. He's a practical joker slash prankster.
They gave up on making Windows Phone.
What? What happened?
Probably just didn't make enough money on it.
Oh.
But the CEO regretted it.
He regretted not being.
Oh yeah, no, the Windows Phone's not even a thing anymore. Well, what do you think about this for a minute? We're going to have to look into de-Googling all of our devices, removing Google from all of our devices. And we're going to have to use YouTube through Mozilla Firefox or some other browser.
I mean, we're already using it through our computers.
Oh, no, I know, but I'm talking about our mobile devices. See, this is why this is why I hated the idea of the Alphabet company and Google. It's dumb. Everyone walked willingly right into this trap of, oh, it's okay to let this big company take over this other big company. It's okay to let Google buy out YouTube and all these other things that, they should have never been able to touch in the first place. Although if they hadn't, we probably wouldn't have YouTube today anyway.
What do you mean?
Back in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, when the purchase happened, YouTube was kind of having money trouble.
Yeah.
And people were putting their content up, and a decent amount of people wanted to be paid for the content they were putting up, and really YouTube didn't have a way to do that. Actually, way back in the day, YouTube was... Okay, so way back in the day, there was a site called stupidvideos.com. It was the one that infamously had the thing where the penguin that would come up with its flipper and slap the other penguin into the water kind of thing. And it'd have a laugh track to it, right? It was just like small shorts, and, it was funny, but it started to get a lot of really inappropriate content on it. So people wanted...
like the website called Vine.
Yeah. But way before Vine ever even existed. We're talking like 2004.
I actually had never heard of Stupid
Yeah,
Video.
no one of your... Anyone who was born before like 1992 probably knows about it. Anyone after that point, it's 50-50 at best. Okay? But this is basically the history of how YouTube got popular. YouTube existed before Stupid Videos, but it wasn't as big. Stupid Videos was huge because it was a funny video platform that I'm not even sure exists nowadays, and I'm almost afraid to look it up, really. Because the content would probably get me demonetized and banned from YouTube, like, instantaneously. But if the URL even still exists, which I don't know about that, but back in the day when I was a kid, it was one of the video sites that was like really popular amongst all the other kids, and we used to go there to watch people do stupid stuff. Well, YouTube was developed as a way to kind of curb a lot of the violent content that was being uploaded to Stupid Videos at the time, because there were a lot of like fight videos going up on Stupid Videos.
That isn't fun.
No, it wasn't, and people would just put like stupid laugh tracks behind the fights when someone would get their ass whooped, basically, and it just wasn't considered acceptable. And there was a host of like adult content that was getting, weaseling its way in and all kinds of stuff for a video platform that was supposed to be for effectively just going there to get a lighthearted laugh. Well, it didn't really. A lot of their videos and a couple other websites ended up on YouTube instead, the funnier, light-hearted stuff ended up on YouTube instead because they just couldn't keep their moderation in track, They didn't have the moderation resources. YouTube did. And then, a few years later, it became expensive to run YouTube, so they had to contract out and start getting help from other places. One of those places was the Alphabet company, who inevitably just bought out YouTube entirely, which is why Alphabet owns both YouTube and Google. They are effectively the same company. And a lot of people don't know this, but some of the people who work on the board for Alphabet are related to or directly work for the board for iPhone, Apple. Which is why, for the longest time, Macintosh products, or Apple products as they're called nowadays, were largely pushing the Google search engine. And still do.
Well, learn something new every day.
Yeah, there's a whole history lesson on this topic that everyone needs to go dig into. I probably know it better than most. I lived through it. Back before I even knew. The first thing that I played Halo on was the original Xbox. The second thing I played it on was an old Macintosh E-machine. The big dome plastic things that had the multicolored, you could pick your color kind of thing. That if you have one nowadays, there's probably a lithium battery in the bottom of it that's probably about ready to explode.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, end of the day, these companies are not your friend. They're all about getting your data and selling it to the highest bidder. And they're just as easily hacked, if not more easily hacked than any federal government. And oh, by the way, if you think that it takes a special person to hack a government agency, why don't you go look up the history of government hackings on any website? Wikipedia, WikiLeaks, there's probably a ton of news articles that you can find on archives. You could find it, trust me. There's a litany of them. From China,
right?
Russia, our own U.S. citizens just deciding that they're sick of the BS and then having to be, put in prison. The list goes on, right? So you are effectively allowing a company that claims to have a good security system that's worse than the U.S. government. And by the way, the U.S. government, there's a hacking attempt on the U.S. government every day. There's a hacking attempt on Google every minute by comparison. So the fact that you don't hear about a Google hacking is more because Google does their best to suppress it. The federal government really can't. It's public information. It's Freedom of Information Act requests. They have to comply with those when a judge says it's okay to do it. Whereas Google can just stay tight-lipped and say, we don't know what you're talking about. So, and when they say it didn't happen, and it did happen, they don't have to admit that they lied to it. They can just roll right on over you and just say, not my problem. And this video is not going to go anywhere just because of the title. The only people that are going to see this stream are people that I shared it to on my other platforms.
And people they share it to.
Exactly. There's no way in hell Google is going to let this one fly. Oh, God, no. In fact, there's probably about at least a 50% chance that this whole stream, after we're done doing the live streaming, is going to get entirely removed. I guarantee it.
Which isn't right.
Or at the very least, I'm probably going to get an email saying there goes any chance at getting monetized just for calling them out on their BS. I didn't agree to it. You didn't agree to it. No one agreed to it.
I definitely didn't agree to it.
And you can say, oh, well, we put it into this agreement thing. Dude, you just started rolling this stuff out in the last 2 months as an idea. I did not hit that agree button to agree to this term and condition. It was not on there when I bought my phone. You're in violation of my right to privacy. Because you've gone from threatening to track, the stuff that... you guys already track the stuff that I let you track, which is my public, the stuff that I put out there on my Facebook, YouTube, or whatever for the whole world to see. But what I download for an app on my phone is none of your fucking business. What I do with that app, as long as I'm not breaking a law somewhere, is none of your fucking business. At what point did I allow that? At what point did any of us reasonably agree to that? Are you going to pull out your 90-plus page service agreement that nobody reads and is in such small print that you literally have to print it out on magnified font to be able to read it? Or you have to go to an alternative hot link and spend half of the day reading a 90 to 100 page friggin' service agreement? Because I can almost guarantee you that this was not in it. In fact, I specifically, when I set up my phone, I ticked the box that said, no, I don't want this stuff. I very specifically said that. I know I did, because I do it with every device that I have. I don't even allow my smart TV to track for advertisers. What makes you think I want you to do it? Hell, I don't even use my smart TV. I have a separate laptop hooked up to the TV in the living room for the use of YouTube on the big screen. And that, I went through every setting in that computer and removed all the tracking. I'm using Mozilla Firefox with all the tracking and uBlock Origin set up specifically to remove your ability to track. And yet you claim you're gonna do it anyway? You know what? There's a small spot between a certain part of my body and another certain part of my body that you can both sniff and lick. Yeah, no. I didn't agree to it. No one else did. Fuck off. That's going to end the stream. But, yeah, no. This is ridiculous. Stop your bullshit.